really felt like I needed to talk about is really owning your authenticity. And when I say like owning your authenticity, I mean like being the you that you are when nobody is around. That version of you, because that's how you're going to attract your soul tribe and people who are meant to be in your life, and people who really are going to support you and be there for you in every way. I always say like real recognizes real, and if you're still kind of keeping up your mask and your persona, being like fakey McFakerman, your soul family can't find you. So the importance of being the real you is super vital, because without being who you really are truly, you'll always feel kind of like this sense of like loss. You'll feel like there's a part of you that is incomplete. And I just want everybody to be in touch with themselves. The way that we were before, kind of like the magic got ripped from us, the light got ripped from us, out in the world dealing with just normal daily life things. And I mean, I get it. It's hard. It's very difficult to do. I mean, I'm both student and teacher doing this kind of like double mission thing right now. So I I know really I do. I speak from experience on everything, and I think the hardest thing for me has been like trusting myself, trusting my intuition, and not being so hard on myself, because Virgo criticism is really a thing. And people are always like, Virgos are so critical, and if you think that we're critical with other people, like imagine how we are with ourselves. It's rough, really. It is. It's definitely been a challenge to go within and figure out like, why am I the way that I am? And reflect and ask myself kind of the big questions. And but it's been for my highest purpose and good, and that's what it'll be for you guys as well, when you really 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 get in tune with yourself. Then you will absolutely be able to express more freely, which is again something that I am still in the process of working on. And it's not an overnight process, guys. So if you're here like I am, kind of feeling like, oh, I'm not making enough progress, or I'm not, I don't know. I feel like I struggle a lot of times with being very, I don't know what the word would be. Like, I feel like I'm not, I don't have enough, I don't know, information, or I've not made enough progress on something. I don't give myself enough credit, for like anything that I'm doing. The perfectionism really kind of F's you in the long run, because essentially you kind of like block yourself out from a lot of things when you don't trust yourself, or you don't believe in yourself, or you don't think that you have enough, or you are enough just as you are currently. And that's absolutely not the case. A lot of times people don't realize that a lot of times people don't have, no one has all of their shit together. And that is facts. we, even the most like well dressed professionals, they really don't, nobody has it all figured out. And that's the thing, is that there's like this like misconception of like, if you're holding a degree, prime example, earlier I was like, I don't know if I can do this whole like talk about the things, on YouTube, on Patreon, here, doing the podcast thing, even though it's something that I started out doing way before it became like mainstream. My thing was that I wasn't like seeing the return on investment, simply because 555 on the timer as I said that. So, the change, right? But I wasn't seeing the return on investment, and for me, like, I didn't have that external validation, so I stopped. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's been one of my biggest lessons, is not seeking outside or external validation for the things that I'm creating and doing, because what I've learned about myself within this time is that I am always, always, always ahead. Always ahead. I'm always in the future. I'm always way ahead of my time on things. I'm always way ahead of just my messages, the things that I'm trying to bring about, the things that I'm trying to do, things of that nature. I'm always ahead. But and with that comes the like, people aren't receptive to like a lot of things that I'm saying or talking about, or especially in the past. I talk about being, one of the spiritual OGs, and the caveat to being one of the spiritual OGs is that, we were not, this whole like spirituality being like this like trendy thing wasn't a thing when I was, younger, and in the prime of when I still had the light and spark and passion and drive in me to do what I'm currently redoing right now. It was very like taboo to speak on anything esoteric, anything mystical, anything magic related, anything spiritual related. It was just very like off limits, and a lot of stuff would, kind of be grounds of like putting you in like a straitjacket, for lack of better words. I mean, it is what it is. That's just how it was. So me not having this like I don't know, return on investment, I guess would be the best way to say it, pronounce it, put it out there, in the past is ultimately what led to me kind of like stopping, doing my videos and doing my podcast and talking about the things, is because I was like, well, nobody's like listening to it, nobody's seeing it, I'm not getting views. But also understand, and again, we'll say this is just for entertainment purposes only, right? But there very much was this thing of where my shit was being blocked, like from being seen, from getting out there. It is what it is. If you know, you know. And so that also was like I kind of just got tired of like hitting constant brick walls with like everything that I was trying to put out, and create and do. It's very discouraging, which is obviously the point of it. But the this is neither here nor there, I guess, at this point. But that was one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn, like not just with what I'm creating, but as a part of my purpose here at this lifetime. I'm paving a new way, like I'm forging just like a new path here, machete and all, just chopping down the things. I'm not like other people, and I don't want to be. And but it took me a really long time to get to this point of being okay with the fact that like I'm not like anybody else, and I'm very different. And I think that's something that comes with time in this process, is the self-love and the self-acceptance, and being okay with not having the outside validation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just doing stuff strictly for the purpose of like, hey, I'm just meant to speak on this, and that's what it is. And keep it keep it moving. But I think the fact that we have been conditioned on like this thing of getting likes and getting views is something that really kind of drives our focus without even realizing that that's something that we are so set on getting, and then not receiving it like really is kind of like a morale blow. Honestly, like I will always keep it like a $100 out here when with anything that I say and tell to you guys. I'm very transparent, very authentic. Like this is just me. So yeah, it is very rough when you're doing stuff, especially when it takes time and energy that, like in my case, I don't have. I am a day out from having my Crohn's treatment, and I'm in what we call like chemo coma currently right now. I'm exhausted, but I'm like, I've got to get some shit done. So when you're putting in time and effort, but you're like not getting views or like money for it, it's insane. It seems like very insane to keep continuing to do something when you're not seeing like the physical manifestations or return or reward for the amount of effort that you're putting out to something. You know what I'm saying? But it's like kind of like an illusion, not seeing right now what you are creating for yourself in the future will ultimately kind of really very much fuck you in the end. Because if you're just doing something to only get the reward from it, then you're kind of missing the whole point of the process, really, honestly. And that is the biggest thing that I have learned in my personal journey. Like I said, I'm both student and teacher currently in this lifetime, doing multiple missions in one lifetime. And that is my biggest lesson here is to keep going, even though your physical current present circumstance like doesn't, it's deceiving looking, or you're not getting like a return on your investment. To keep going, because it is the thing of like consistency is key. And I am just the messenger. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is just my job, to just be here to be the messenger for whatever messages the source has for you guys and myself, during this like very very monumental time here, in the bridging of worlds and the coming of new earth and all the things. So yeah, that is the biggest thing that I had on my heart to talk about today, is just the fact of needing to keep going even when you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. It is tough, but it is necessary. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. So, I think anything that you're building for the long term, obviously you want it to be built on a strong foundation, and it's not an overnight process. So just ride the waves and trust the process and enjoy the journeys. All right, guys, I love you. B Squad. Ayy.